This incredibly powerful anxiety freedom technique has been designed to bring you instant relief from anxious thoughts and the energetic and emotional embodiment of anxiety. There is a two-step approach here. So, within the first technique, we will reduce and then remove the feeling of anxiety that you are currently experiencing. It will then lead on to actually go back to discover the root cause of a feeling of anxiety in association with whatever it is you are currently experiencing or feeling, to be able to gain the information required and then to let go of a feeling of anxiety attached to a situation or experience that is similar in nature moving forwards. This technique is life-changing beyond words, and I ask that you use it as much and as often as you require. Anytime you feel anxious over any particular thing, let's say fear of success, we use the reduction and removal technique, and then we reduce and actually go back with the timeline therapy journey to remove the trigger that causes that anxious response. If then in future you feel anxious over being seen publicly and having to express yourself, then again use the technique along with the freedom and liberation technique to set yourself free from anxiety in all ways, shapes and forms that is not uplifting or serving. To become anxious over certain things in life is actually required, but this technique is guaranteed to remove all unnecessary and unwanted anxiety. Enjoy. Go ahead and take a deep and mindful breath, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Noticing that it is through the surrenderance of the old that you create the space for the new. As you just allow for that pranic life force energy to enter and fill you with every breath that you accept into you. And every breath that you release, surrendering back to the universe around you. Go ahead and let go of anything and everything that is no longer serving you. You are safe. You are supported. You are connected and protected. You are love. You are safe. You are safe. Go ahead and take another deep and mindful breath, breathing in slowly and mindfully through your nose for the count of 5. Holding for a moment or two on the top of the breath, before releasing and surrendering back to the universe around you, breathing out through your mouth with a sigh for the count of 7. Pausing, before repeating with that beautiful inhalation, breathing in through your nose, pause, releasing and surrendering all that no longer serves you, back out through your mouth for 7. Breathing in and watching as you fill yourself with that clean, fresh, pranic life force energy. And as you breathe out, release, let go, eject, remove, dissolve. Letting go of the old to create the space for the new. Letting go of everything and anything that no longer serves you. And I would like to ask you a very simple question, and for you to take a moment or two of contemplation. What is your next thought going to be as you quieten your mind and look inside to see? What is your next thought going to be? Go ahead and ask yourself ×3. What is my next thought going to be? And having cleared your mind of anxious thoughts that would otherwise still be found inside, after breathing yourself calm and centered, I would like for you to go ahead and to remind yourself that life is an adventure. And it is not knowing what is round the next bend that makes the journey exciting, my friend. The twists and turns and ups and downs of a roller coaster ride, making it the enjoyable ride it is. If we know what was going to happen next, if we knew what was round the next bend, would there really be any point in taking it? So any and all excess energy that may still be present within you, I would like for you to go ahead and to center your attention down towards your feet, watching as just like a tree, deep and supportive taproots grow out of the soles of your feet and into the earth below, where any and all excess energy can be drained safely, returning you to your natural, harmonic state of flow. And if there are any further thoughts or feelings that perhaps are trying to knock upon the door, then I would like for you to use this simple and yet incredibly powerful technique to keep those thoughts safe so that you can look at them and address them later in the day. Imagining that within your pocket you have a treasure chest, a safe box, a magic box, and that whatever you place in this box will be kept safe. It will be processed and understood, sorted out within this box, if you like, so that when you go to open it again, the answers you require are presented to you, known by you, to be able to be used by you. So any and all excess thoughts that are heavy or negative, that are taking up space, go ahead and open your magic box and put them safely in this place. Closing the lid, shutting it tight, and allowing, as you sleep tonight, for your unconscious, your subconscious mind to process all the information and bring up the answer or the realization that you require. Letting go of the old to create the space for the new. Living in alignment with your truth. Thank you. So, to follow is the incredibly powerful anxiety removal technique. To remove the first link in the chain, to remove the trigger, to remove the gunpowder, to remove the feeling and connection that animates within you the feeling of anxiety, by going back to the original cause of this feeling of anxiety in association with the situation, interaction or person that you have just experienced anxiety through or in association with once again. If at any point throughout this journey the learnings are not taken and adopted and embodied by your unconscious, your subconscious mind, as well as your conscious mind, then simply stop the video and go back to the beginning and listen to it again. This technique is incredibly powerful and is not to try to be understood at a conscious level, but just to be allowed as you flow through it, to be experienced firsthand, so that you can continue forwards upon your journey in the most uplifted, optimistic, and high vibrational way. Enjoy. So, to follow is the incredibly powerful anxiety removal technique. To remove the first link in the chain, to remove the trigger, to remove the gunpowder, to remove the feeling and connection that animates within you the feeling of anxiety, by going back to the original cause of this feeling of anxiety in association with the situation, interaction or person that you have just experienced anxiety through or in association with once again. If at any point throughout this journey the learnings are not taken and adopted and embodied by your unconscious, your subconscious mind, as well as your conscious mind, then simply stop the video and go back to the beginning and listen to it again. This technique is incredibly powerful and is not to try to be understood at a conscious level, but just to be allowed as you flow through it, to be experienced firsthand, so that you can continue forwards upon your journey in the most uplifted, optimistic, and high vibrational way. Enjoy. Now comes the journey to discover the root cause of this feeling of anxiety. The first time that you felt anxious in a situation that is in reflection or relation. So I'd like for you to go ahead and to think back, however far it might be, a few minutes, or perhaps even hours, to when you first felt that anxiety. And as you go ahead and feel into that space now, knowing that you are not feeling firsthand the anxiety, but revisiting it from an alternative perspective so that you can gain the information required to set yourself free. As you go ahead and take a few deep and mindful breaths, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth, raising that feeling of anxiety and asking yourself so that you can receive. What caused me to feel anxious? Was it a situation? Or was it a thought? Was it something actually taking place? Or was it something that I created within my mind? Becoming anxious over something that in truth does not even exist. More often than not, we become anxious over situations that we have created within our own mind. If something happened externally within our reality that caused us to feel anxious, then we would most likely fight or flight. We would respond to the situation, giving no time to actually feel anxious. It is our thoughts and our desire to control future situations that create that feeling of anxiety. So noticing the thought that triggered the feeling of anxiety within yourself, I would like for you to look at that thought, the thought that made you anxious, and to question it, to ask yourself if that thought is true. And what it would feel like if the thought was not true. Leading on from this, I would like for you to go ahead and ask yourself, to ask your unconscious, your subconscious mind, and just to allow as the answer, the information bubbles up from inside. Asking yourself, as I asked your unconscious, your subconscious mind, when did you first decide that this thought that caused the anxiety you just recently experienced, when did you first decide that this was true? And whatever event is shown to you, I would like to invite you to go ahead and to begin to separate from your physical self as you start to float way up into the air. Looking back to that situation, the first time when that thought caused you a feeling of anxiety, go ahead and travel back to that situation now. Go there as you float effortlessly and majestically back in time to that event of old when you first felt anxiety inside. And as you arrive in that moment in time, able to see and to feel and to hear everything that is taking place, as you learn and know and embody the truth that that thought was only a thought in the first place, and that you were and always are safe. And as you go ahead and just allow yourself to learn what it is that you need to learn in order to let go of the feeling of anxiety around whatever thought that it is that previously and recently animated it. A bit like taking away the gunpowder, removing the trigger, de-arming that thought, so that when you have a thought similar in nature and frequency moving forwards, it will just be a thought that is allowed to enter and exit, the same as any other thought that you would have throughout the day. Go ahead and learn everything that you need to know in order to be able to easily and effortlessly let go, letting go of a feeling of control, being open to experience, to receive, and to know that you are safe, you are guided and protected, that you have everything that you could ever require or desire, as it all is found within. And just allowing as your unconscious, your subconscious mind shows you what it is that you need to know in order to let go. As you allow that integration within mind, body and soul, allowing for the feelings, the sensations, the thoughts, the imageries, the sounds to all be integrated and locked within yourself, as that feeling of anxiety is no longer present and no longer has any reason to be reanimated, as the thought that previously caused the anxiety has been disarmed. To be able to think that thought in future, knowing that it would not reanimate the feeling of anxiety and torture that it previously has, means that you have, through taking this simple journey, set yourself free. And that over the next few days, specifically whilst you sleep at night, know that your subconscious, your unconscious mind will align and reanimate all memories and events of old. That you will know exactly what it is you need to know in order to achieve everything you are here to achieve, doing so easily and effortlessly, subconsciously. And then I would like for you to look back to the present moment, back to your body. And as you begin to easily, effortlessly, and progressively float back towards your body, bringing with you all of the information that you have now adopted and embodied, the truth that you are safe, you are loved, you are protected, supported, and guided, and that you are and have always been more than enough. Integrating all these learnings, the truth of who you are, into every fibre of your being, every atom, every molecule, and even the space between, across every lifetime, timeline, dimension, and reality. Integrating the truth that is so plain to see. And I would like for you, once you have fully settled back into your body, back into the present moment, feeling grounded, secure, guided, and protected, I would like for you to look back to the previous situation that raised within you that feeling of anxiety, and to check in, to feel into that situation, and to see if there is any feeling of anxiety that is still present, or you may find that that feeling of anxiety is now gone. And I would like for you to think back to another time in the past when a thought similar in frequency and vibration caused a similar feeling of anxiety within. And as you think back to that event and reanimate the thought, you may notice that you can have a thought that previously caused you to feel anxious, but now the thought is experienced without that anxious trigger being fired, without that program being run. That you have set yourself free from the crippling effects of anxiety. Where is the feeling of anxiety related to that particular thought and frequency? Is the anxiety there, or has it now gone? And if it has gone, how do you know it has gone? And where has it gone? And having tested the past, I would like to future pace and test the future, so that you know that if an event or situation arises that would have previously caused you to feel anxious within that particular thought process or frequency, the one that we have just visited, addressed, and liberated, that if something similar in nature happens in the future, that you will be free, that the thought will be a thought allowed to be felt and let go of once again, as you go ahead, taking a deep and mindful breath, breathing into your belly, taking a short second breath up towards your chest as you look up to the heavens above and release. In that future moment of now, within a situation that would have previously caused you frustration, annoyance, and that feeling of anxiety, as you tune in and really try to find, to hear, to see, I'd like to ask you, now where is that feeling, that unnecessary and unwanted feeling of anxiety? Is it there, or has it now gone? This has cleared your previous anxious disposition in association and connection to the certain thought process, situation, or interaction that we have just experienced, visited, and cleared. So it has cleared your attachment to feeling anxious over that thought, that feeling, that interaction, that person, that situation. It has cleared your anxiety revolved around and attached to X, let's say. So if you do feel anxious in the future over Y or Z, then simply revisit this very powerful and life-changing technique, and once again continue to set yourself free. You could make it almost like a quest or a game of sorts, starting with the first letter in the alphabet perhaps, thinking of anything that starts with A that makes you anxious in any way, thinking about it, feeling the anxiety, calming yourself down and grounding and centering accordingly, and then asking yourself, asking your subconscious mind once again, when the first time that you felt anxious revolved around the situation of A. Go back to that time in the past. Allow, as you ask, your unconscious, your subconscious mind to deliver all the information that it requires to let go of that feeling of anxiety revolved around A, so that you can let go and exist in your natural and effortless state of flow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for taking this journey with me. Thank you for doing the work to set not only yourself but everybody else free. Thank you for being the change that you wish to see and helping in the continued evolution of humanity. If you have any questions, or if I can assist or support in any other way, then please reach out and we will create it so. I would love for you to share this technique with a friend, with your family, with your tribe, so that we can continue to support and inspire each other upon this journey as we are moving towards guiding each other back home to ourselves and back home to love. Thank you once again. All my love, support and appreciation. Namaste.